Most men have been told at some point in their life that women just want to feel emotionally safe. The problem is, most men have absolutely no idea what this actually means. So what they hear and think is, okay, if she wants to be emotionally safe, I will just be nicer. I'm gonna agree more and I'll stop rocking the boat so she doesn't get upset, and that way she feels safe. But when you do that, what actually happens is she respects you less, she opens up less, she trusts you less, and your frustration level goes through the roof. Here's the unfortunate truth that most men just don't have the luxury of hearing. Emotional safety isn't about softness or agreeability. It is about stability. It's not just I love you, it is I love you and I will not collapse. Women don't open up to nice men, which is why we always hear the term nice guys finish last. Women open up to grounded men, calm, steady, loving, but with a backbone. In this video, I'm going to break down how to create emotional safety the right way and help you understand the real reason why nice guys finish last. But before I break this down, if your marriage feels tense and it's inching closer to the brink of divorce, go and watch my free masterclass that goes even deeper into these shifts, and it will show you exactly how men who feel completely lost save their marriage. Click on the link in the description to watch that free masterclass today. Now, let's get into today's topic of emotional safety. Let's redefine this properly. As I mentioned in the intro, most men think providing emotional safety means avoiding conflict or never saying anything upsetting to her and just tiptoeing around her or just being there whenever she needs it and letting her lead when she's upset. None of those create any safety. In fact, those are really just submitting to a weak beta position that just wants to do nothing wrong for fear of making things worse with their wife. While this type of behavior from men, we see it normalized in movies and sitcoms, this is actually a repellent to women's attraction in real life. This submission type behavior is actually felt by your wife deep down. She feels that you've abandoned any leadership in the relationship when you act that way. So get that definition of emotional safety out of your head. Here is the real definition. Emotional safety equals predictability of your nervous system. During all the times she's being vulnerable with you and sharing emotionally, she's not asking, hey, will he fix this for me? What she's really asking is, when I get emotional, does he hold steady or does he freak out with me? Women don't trust words, they trust energy. So if your mood changes based on her mood and how she's being emotionally, she can basically never relax into you. But if she knows internally that you don't panic when she does and that you don't get incredibly defensive when she vents to you, this will have an impact on her nervous system to the point where she feels safe and can exhale around you. This is a big piece of the attraction building puzzle. One of my detriments when I was struggling in my love life for a long time was being too much of a nice guy. The phrase nice guys finish last is true, and it's not because women intentionally go out there to take advantage of nice guys, although obviously there are some low character women out there that might do that, but it's more about being too nice and giving in to women, coming off as being weak, and internally women just don't feel safe with that. This is why so often you see women say that they don't understand why they always go for that bad boy, for lack of a better term, and they can't understand why they don't like the nice guy. It's because instinctively women like a challenge. So if you just give in to everything, attraction starts to dissipate. That doesn't mean be difficult for the sake of being difficult, but it means not giving in to your own values. So here are 3 common nice guy mistakes that men think help make her feel safe, but it actually does the complete opposite. Number 1, over-validating everything. This is where you basically just give in and go with the happy wife, happy life notion. It's basically saying you are right to everything your wife suggests, even if you don't agree, because logically you think that if you're agreeing with everything she says, you're providing maximum support possible to her needs, and she can't possibly feel safe if you're validating everything she does or says. The reality, over-validating everything with her doesn't give her emotional safety. Internally, it actually makes her feel completely unled. The second common nice guy mistake is asking your woman what's wrong like 20 times in a row. So I get when you do this, it looks like you're showing you care, and I also understand that you probably do. But when you badger her and keep asking what's wrong just because you see her in a certain mood, you're now throwing more and more pressure onto her shoulders to perform emotionally. There is a way to go about it when you're trying to find out what's wrong, but when you ask that and also couple it with, is there something I did or something I said, you're immediately displaying insecure, weak behavior. If you want to find out what's wrong, you have to show her steady groundedness and let her know if something is wrong, you are there to hear it when she's ready to tell you. And the third nice guy mistake, avoiding truth to keep the peace. You think conflict is dangerous, so you never actually say how you really feel about anything for fear of upsetting her and getting into another fight. Now, I'm not saying conflict is great, but what I am saying is we are human, so clearly you and your wife will have times where you don't think the same thing or agree on things, and that is perfectly okay. If she knows your true feelings about a certain topic, but you just start agreeing with her so you don't get into an argument, she's gonna know you're betraying your own backbone. Respect and attraction starts to disappear the more you do that. Safety doesn't become stronger from no conflict. It becomes stronger when conflict arises and you're able to be calm, respectful, and stable. If she disagrees with you and snaps, but you stay calm, own your truth, and set healthy boundaries if she's treating you outside your values, that's when she starts to realize she feels safe with you without having to protect your emotions. And you are commanding respect, and you're commanding how you want to be treated in a certain way. Let me give you a quick formula that is easy to remember, and unfortunately, so many men either don't ever have this, or they have it at the beginning of their marriage or relationship, but it slowly starts to lose more and more over time. Love plus spine equals the creation of emotional safety. You can also say it another way, which is support plus standards equals creation of emotional safety. What these mean is having you being able to have emotional availability without emotional dependency. You're not dependent on her being in a good mood for you to show up with your standards and be calm. It also means understanding her without over accommodating. This is going back to being the overly nice guy, just trying to over accommodate and make her feel safe by not ruffling any feathers. There was one woman I dated when I was younger, and she was so frustrated with me because I was so overly nice and accommodating to the point where she had to keep telling me to stop. And I just did not understand women and attraction or how they respond. So when she would tell me this, I would start apologizing profusely. This obviously made me look incredibly weak and beta, and things did not last much longer after that. When I look back now, I just kind of laugh because knowing what I know now, she was so into me, but I just could not get past how nice and beta I was being with her, and her attraction completely disappeared because she was frustrated by that, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So that segues into the last point I wanted to make here, which is you can be warm and playful with her, but you have to drop the weakness. So similarly to the story I just told you about myself, you want to be warm and positive and playful, but you don't want to show up as weak, beta, and overly accommodating. So what happens when you change your behavior and how you show up? Well, at first, she might test it. She's going to test you 100%. Women are always testing you, whether they knowingly are doing it or subconsciously, and the more you show up in the correct manner, the less frequent those tests become. When I was showing up very nice and over accommodating to that one woman, when I think back, she was testing me 100%, and a couple times she started acting bitchy towards me because she was dying for me to stand up for myself and show some masculine leadership. And instead, I collapsed and I started apologizing and trying to, again, over accommodate for her. It was a complete failure on my part and ultimately was the catalyst to send that relationship into the garbage bin. So when your lady is testing you, she isn't trying to be difficult. Her nervous system is trying to understand if the new you, who you're showing up as now, is actually a grounded, real leader, or it's just another phase or another gimmick you're trying. If you collapse like I did upon being tested, it's going to tell her that it's just an act and there's no safety being provided by you and you're not actually a true leader. But if you actually have the discipline to grow, get better at showing up with these leadership skills, and you are consistently doing that, that is what starts to build back trust into your wife's heart. And that is when you will start to see her slowly open up and share more, and you will notice how she changes around you and how she looks at you. You're going to start showing a little bit more leadership, and the more consistent you are, the more she responds to that. This is her guard lowering, and it has nothing to do with her deciding to do that because she doesn't want to punish you anymore. It is natural in her feelings because you are showing up consistently in a way that her nervous system is responding to in that positive way. So if this video clicked for you, and if you're listening and realizing, yeah, you know what? I've been loving her, but I've been doing that without a backbone, and that is why my marriage is suffering right now. Don't just hope this sticks. Let me show you exactly how to live this out daily. These are the exact skills I teach in my Relationship Rebuild coaching program, and the first step to that is to click on the link in the description to watch the free masterclass. In it, I'm going to walk you through the steps men on the brink of divorce use to save their marriage through proper leadership. I had to learn the hard way that men are not taught how to lead. They're just simply not taught these skills when we're young. But when you do learn these skills, it will completely change your life. And the best part is, you don't need to get your wife to agree to go to any therapy or counseling sessions. You can take the initiative and start this all on your own. So click the link and watch the free masterclass now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys in the next episode.